My name is James Gregory. I'm one of your attorneys. And our firm represents a large number of school districts, and we've sold, or we've helped school districts sell quite a few school buildings over the years. And the first thing I want to say is it's an entirely doable process, and it is generally not quick. So let me talk to you about the process by how you do that. The first thing you need to know is that the Commissioner of Education has stated that a school district, the Board of Education, has a fiduciary duty to get the best available price. That's not always easy to determine, but you have a couple of methods. Actually, you have several methods. Generally, the best method, as far as the Commissioner and the courts are concerned, when you sell a property, is you test its fair market value, right? Because a property is worth whatever people are willing to pay for it. Generally, we do that by listing it. If you publicly list the property and then you see what offers you get, you know you're getting the market price. Sometimes, however, you might have people who approach you before you've listed it or before you've even really decided you're sure you want to sell it, and they might make you an offer. And then the question is that a fair price? So another method that the courts and the Commissioner have approved is when someone makes you a price, you ought to get an outside appraisal, right, from an independent appraiser. And you can do that, and that's another way to get an independent test of the price. We generally recommend that you do one of those two methods. If you've got another issue or fact pattern that comes up, feel free to call us and we'll talk about it. But you should be thinking one of those two to start, right? You're either going to list it for a period of time and see who makes an offer, or you're going to get an appraisal.
Well, one question I had is we deal with them, we've been pretty upfront with the community down there, and you know, and I don't blame them. They want to look at what's coming in their and I don't blame them at all. I think
Sure.
That's a smart thing to do. And when we get into these state push, do we have any leeway not to take the highest bid if it's something that we wouldn't want to be there and the community wouldn't want to be there, or we run into a problem?
So you have some wiggle room,
Okay.
right? The court cases that have actually been decided on this have said that you're basically not allowed to choose between uses so much,
Okay.
but one of the things that you can factor in is it going to go back on the tax rolls, right? You can look at price plus is it going to go back on the tax rolls, because for you that's a long-term source of revenue. You also could certainly, if something was truly going to be unacceptable to the community and to you as a board, I think you can probably nix that, right? But I wouldn't want to write you a chart ahead of time about what you can do and what you can't do, because we don't have a lot of case law. What we have is the Commissioner saying you have to get the best price, and then a couple of exceptions.
Yeah, okay.
And the other thing you need to know is that as a school district, you do not, who has been centralized, or that has been centralized for more than 7 years, you do not need voter approval to sell a school building. You need voter approval anytime you're going to spend money to acquire land and to acquire buildings, but here you're not spending money, hopefully you're receiving money. And so you don't need voter approval for that. You do need to know that if 10% of the voters petition you, then they can require a referendum. And that's specifically when it comes to sale of property, the petition is 10% of the voters.
When you said presumably you're going to get money instead of on the other hand spend it.
Right.
I would say to sell that for, say, the assessed value, it would be very difficult. Does
Right.
that make a difference, or as long as something's coming your way, it doesn't make a difference?
The statute actually is written just for sale.
Okay.
I've given you the 30,000-foot view. The reason that you don't need voter approval for sale is because theoretically money is coming towards you as opposed to away from you. But the statute doesn't actually talk about money. It just says when you're selling, you don't need voter approval.
But if 10%,
If 10% of the population submit a petition within 30 days of your approval of the sales contract, then the voters have the right to vote on the sales contract. So what happens when we draft the agreement, we've got the buyer. One of the clauses that we will put in the sales contract is that this sales contract is conditional upon no voter petition being put in within 30 days. And if a voter petition is put in within 30 days, then by approval of the voters. So it's just written, it's one more clause. When you see a real estate contract, there's many, many clauses and conditions. That's just one more.